I'm sure that's the case, but he was a Ferguson tractor, I think, dealer or something before he finally took over the cars. But yes, I knew him, and of course I'm just a young boy. But and then I knew the three brothers of Parker Ford. James is the oldest, and then Joe, and then John. And James and Joe were in the Marine Corps. They were in the 6th Marines, and they go into, I think I'm right, that they went into Okinawa, but after the things was pretty much secure. But anyway, the dad owned the business, and I can't think of what his name, Mr. Parker, but anyway, the three boys took over, and they bought it, and I think I'm right that whether it was, I don't know who David Parker's dad was, whether it was James or Joe, wasn't John. It might have been, James might have been his dad. But they knew that I was in the Marine Corps, probably at C School, been through boot camp at C School, and someone came to get me, and here it was, Mrs. Parker came, and she asked permission for me to take off and go and be with James and Joe and Mrs. Parker, and whether the old man was, I can't remember the old man. I remember him, but.
Was that in San Diego?
Yeah, San Diego. But they took me off a base, took me in someplace, and then we got a bite to eat and did something, and then they brought me back. And then from there, then I've been to 10 battle stars. I was at Kwajalein in Iditarod, and then I was at Saipan, Tinian, Guam, Sea Battle of the Philippine Seas, where our task force, which the Indianapolis was in it, but it was, I think, 2 aircraft carriers, 2 battleships, maybe 2 or 3 cruisers, and maybe 6 or 8 or so destroyers. Okay, where are you going? We go to, from the Philippine Seas, we go up into that panhandle that runs from Alaska down to Japan, and we would go up there when it was the worst weather, purposely, and it was so rough that I can remember I'm up in sky forward, standing watch, clothes, and that ship, that bow nose would go completely under, and then come back up, and then that water, I probably 30 feet up here, and that water was everything, but it wouldn't be sleet, but it was cold water, but we would go up into the Aleutians, and then we would turn to Japan, and we would come down. I don't know how close to the Japanese coast we would get, but we couldn't see it, but it was close. And they would come out with their planes, but the weather was so bad, they had no ship possibly out there. But we bombarded it, and okay, where else did I go? Oh, and then James and Joe were to be at Okinawa. Well, I was at the Seabed Philippine Seas, and then I was down in Peleliu. I was at Okinawa, the last. At Okinawa, James and Joe were in the 6th Marines, and my brother Jamie was in the 27th Army, and the Army later came in ashore, but Jamie wasn't in that part of it. But when the Japs surrendered, well, they needed fresh men to go in Japan, and he goes in with the 27th Army, and they secured everything, and everybody was friendly and nice, and they just had a good time. Okay.
Okay.